Kia ora koutou. Confident trade, clean exit, just how I like it. This morning I traded GPUS. It dipped hard, came back strong, and I jumped in on the pullback. Held through a couple dips without panicking and got a decent push for my exit. Let's break it down. So when I first got up this morning, I was looking at NCNA, and this stock had popped up around 5 o'clock and was starting to pull back when I got up around, well, it had pulled back actually when I got up around 6:30, just after 6:30. It had broken down through VWAP, and basically that was it, rolled over. It was pretty cheap too, it was around $1, and once it got under there, I didn't even look at it again. So that was NCNA, which was the leading gap when I got up. The next stock that I saw was IVF. IVF. This had popped up around 6:30, and I watched this go push up here to around $3, $2.75, pull back. I did see it through this area. I didn't see it pop up to here. I think I first saw it when it started pulling back, and didn't want to take a trade on this. Yeah, I just didn't like the price action here. Doji candle here, and I mean the volume profile was okay, and then it broke back up. Then I thought, oh, maybe, but it dropped down from 309 down to 265, down to the VWAP, tested that, and then sort of pushed again, double topped, 309, and then rolled over as well. So didn't really like the look of that one, and didn't trade it. And that was all before 7 o'clock as well, so still quite early. And then by 7 o'clock it had rolled back over below the VWAP and sort of went sideways from there. KWE was another stock that had sort of made a decent move earlier in pre-market, so around 6 o'clock. But this again, around 6:30, was pulling back hard, and went from, what's that, $9 all the way down to around 5, a low of 475 there. So didn't trade this at all. It did rally from 5 back up to 7, but couldn't quite break up, couldn't quite get to VWAP, to break over VWAP. So I did look at it when it sort of came back up here around 7 o'clock, but trying not to trade anything below VWAP, even though that went $2 a share. Just after 7, or just before 7, I think it started here, and then pulled back, and then at 7 o'clock it rallied all the way up to $7 a share, from what, 545, 550. But not trading below VWAP has had too many, lower accuracy below VWAP. So that was KWE, and then GPUS. This stock popped up here at just after 7 o'clock, about 7:15, popped up to from $2 up to 382. So actually, if I use this, popped up here, pulled back, then pushed up to 382. Had this flush down to around, what was that, 279, 279 in one candle. So that didn't look great, but then it grinded all the way back up to around 380, and I took an entry here at 355. So that was my entry there at 355. In hindsight, probably should have not taken that entry and held or waited until it came back and gave confirmation that it was going back up. So the retest of the VWAP would have possibly been a better entry, either here or here. But I held through those two dips, and as it pushed back up to 365 here, I took my exit, got 10 cents out of it. Wasn't the cleanest trade. I was definitely confident getting in on my entry at 355, looking for it to hold the $0.50. It didn't. It pulled back to VWAP, and that's probably where I should have waited to see if it came down to VWAP to retest there, and then I could have been in here around 340 and selling, up here at 360, 368, and that would have been a quicker trade through this period, through this section here, but I didn't do that. I held through there, didn't get out at this one here because I thought it might push back up to 380. I think I put an order out at 380 to see if it would fill there. Didn't. It pulled back to VWAP again, and the next time it came up, as soon as it got up here to 10 cents, I put an order in at 365 and it filled. So I was happy that I got out there. Grinded sideways for a bit, and I did think that if it broke to the upside, that would have been a good entry off of around 370, 380 for the push to 4. And it did go to 4 and pulled back there. That pullback here would have been an aggressive entry here, and then the break over there could have been a safer entry once it sort of confirmed that it was going. Made a high of 465, and then that was pretty much it for this stock as well during pre-market. Then it sort of rolled over, and at the open it pushed again, got to a high of 495 there during the open, sort of the first half an hour of the open, and then went sideways sort of, and then made a decent push later on in the day up to $8. So good to see that the stock was pretty strong today, and put in a good move after the open. I got in and out pretty quickly this morning, which is good. I didn't stay up to the open. Once that trade was done and this sort of rolled over, didn't really see much else happening, so I called it a night, and that was it for me. So on the stats, GPUS, 109 shares at 355, exit at 365, so profit of $10.90, 10 cents a share. So not too bad. A couple of green days for the start of May and a no trade day, about $15 profit after commissions and fees come out. So it's $17.20 at the moment, but once my fees come out for today's trades, that'll drop down to maybe $15, $16. Yeah. That trade played out pretty well. Would have been cleaner if I'd waited for the VWAP retest, but I'm happy with the result. The setup felt smoother again today, and I'm starting to trust my entries more. The game plan is to take one trade a day and to get 10 cents per share minimum out of the market each day. This way I minimise my risk, and by taking the best setups on the strongest stocks, I give myself the best chance of walking away with a profit. It may not be much at the moment, but when I can scale up from 100 shares to 200, 400 to 1,000 shares, the profit will increase, but the process stays the same. If you're trading a small account too, hit subscribe. We're learning this game together. I will see you tomorrow. Hei au pōpō.